Okay, now we look ahead to the pairs long program, and they're in the exact same order after the short as they were at the Europeans.
And I think if it skates as well as they did at the Europeans, I think Kovaříková and Novotný will have to win this time. I'll be very surprised if they don't, and I think I'll be very upset.
Well, Barb, the question is, have they got the consistency to deliver? They showed us at the European Championships that they can do it. The question will be, can they do it 2 competitions in a row? From a Canadian perspective, we have to hope that Jean-Michel Bombardier and Michel Menzies can jump into the top 10 to enable us to send at least 2 pairs to the championships in Edmonton next year.
And don't forget the defending champion, Shishkova, Naumov. Russians have won this event 9 of the last 10 years. Brian?
And Chris, is this big crowd?
The 95 World Figure Skating Championships will be awarded tonight in the pairs competition. Here are the Canadian champions, Michel Menzies, Jean-Michel Bombardier. Their focus not medals, but currently 11th after the short program, trying to get Canada into the top 10 so we can send 2 pairs to next year's Worlds in Edmonton, and that would take a load off their training for next year.
Well, the door is open here because the Australian team just skated. They did not have a great performance. They're in 9th place. So if these 2 put down a clean skate, I think they can move into the top 10. They open here with the double axels. Triple twist.
One arm overhead. It's important for them to skate well in the early part of this program, which they are doing up to this point, because she is just coming off a bout of the chickenpox. She's been weak, and I think fatigue could play a role here. So they need to get their quality material in now. Here's throw triple sow cow.
Wow. I think those chickenpox really set them back because they were skating really well. And then suddenly, out of the blue, the chickenpox and it really threw a loop into things for them. But they're really starting out well here tonight.
Coaching change this year. They decided to leave Quebec. They were training with José Picard, who had coached Isabelle and Lloyd. They moved to the Mariposa Club in Barrie, working with Lee Barkel. They seem a much more relaxed team. I think they're happier in their new location. They've had a good year of training, and I think they're reaping the benefits of that out here this evening.
They have a much more mature look to their skating. They've been working with choreographer Marina Elltsova. Problem on those double axles.
but she's impressed me. I mean, when they arrived here, she was really struggling. She had no energy, no zip, and she skated this program very confidently and has really done herself proud, I think. Done them both proud.
A very solid performance. They should be very pleased with that.
Skated like national champions tonight, hoping for a top 10 finish, and we'll have their marks when we come back to Birmingham.
Hey, barrister, cheers.
Jean-Michel's mother is here, and his fiancée, who happens to be José Chouinard. Technical marks, 4.9 up to 5.2s.
I don't think there's any doubt that this should move them up in the standings.
5-0, 5-1, 5-1.
And now the second set of marks. They have first place ordinals from 5 of the judges, seconds from 3, and a third, but they are ahead of the cars right now. So it looks like it could be a top 10 finish as we join Jean Zemp in the judges' seat.
Pair skating is a challenge to judge because there are 2 people to watch on the ice at one time. It gets particularly difficult if the skaters are far apart from each other. Judges look for pair teams who are not just strong individual skaters, but who move as a unit and who are capable of performing the pair elements equally well. It's easy to recognize pair teams who can jump well, as in these side-by-side triple-toe loops, and who can also spin well, as single skaters do. But the true test of a pair team is how well they perform the pair elements together. Pair lifts are one example, and an area judges will focus on. The difficulty of the lift, any innovative positions within it, and how well it's executed is important. Versus a lift that is less difficult, has no variation in the air, and lacks flow on the landing. Death spirals are another pair element for comparison. They should be well controlled, have 1 full rotation in position, and exit gracefully. Pair spins, where the couple spins holding on to each other, is another pair element to consider. Innovative positioning while maintaining spinning speed is important. Throws, where the woman is propelled into the air by the man, is a risky pair element, but again, one that requires teamwork to be successful. Solo jumps and spins aside, pair elements are what make pair skating different from single skating. Strong individual skaters with weaker pair elements will not be as successful as teams capable of performing both entities well. Then the program is balanced. The best pairs will be able to couple their individual strengths with the teamwork necessary to perform the true pair elements.
Top 5 pairs remain, and the American hopes are with Jenni Mino and Todd Sand, who are in 5th place. Said they really didn't understand some of the marks they got in the short program. Well, but are hoping for a repeat of what they did at the national championships, 6 perfect 6s in their long program.
Well, their coach, John Nix, more or less rolled the dice last night, and he made the decision for them that they would only attempt side-by-side double axles, which lowered their base mark. They executed them cleanly, yes, but had they done triples, which they are capable of, but much less consistent with, and done them, they may have jumped up a spot. They may be 4th at this point.
Todd told me today after the practice that he's upset that he thinks this pairs competition is turning into a jumping competition. There's too much emphasis placed on the jumps, which isn't essentially pair skating. They open with a nice triple twist. This is a lovely program that has been choreographed by former pair skater Leanne Miller. I think she's really added an elegance to their skating.
impressions of many of them. They're obviously very focused on their own task. This team is skating well, focused on their own task, yet they take it one step further in that there's some interaction between the two of them going on out there. And in terms of a program, in terms of feel, it feels much like Kovaříková Novotný to me. It's got a real subtleness, a real essence of pair skating. Two people trying to work and look like one.
Side-by-side triples, Paul, but to me this is ultimately what pair skating is all about.
Well, Bob, I think you're right. When you can deliver a performance that gives you this kind of feeling, that executes the elements as smoothly as they did, and they move up into an upper level as far as I'm concerned.
This is the first performance that has brought people out of their seats. A standing ovation at the NEC Arena for Jenni, Mino, and Todd Sand of the United States. They were in 5th place, but still within reach of the medal podium. Back with their marks when we return to Birmingham.
Marks for Jenni, Mino, and Todd Sand for technical merit. 5-6.
Welcome back as we get the first set of marks for Mino and Sand with Coach John Nix, a world champion in 1953, 5-5s and 6s for technical merit.
I think we're going to see the second set come up here.
Remember, 6s, 6 of them at the U.S. Nationals, and now the presentation marks. No 6s, but a 5.9 from the Australian judge. That's the best program we've seen so far. Still 4 pairs left to skate as we join Brian Williams.
Thank you, Chris. When the old Soviet Union broke up, many figure skating experts figured that the domination of skating by the new emerging nations, in particular Russia, would come to an end. Well, so far that has not happened, but as Chris reports, the cracks are indeed beginning to appear.
Struggle, a common thread throughout Russian history, captured by David Lean's epic movie, Dr. Zhivago. The Russian Revolution marked the end of aristocratic indulgences, the beginning of communism. Special privileges remained during Soviet rule for those who brought glory to the state, like the Protopopovs of the 60s. Irina Rodnina, winner of 10 world titles with partners Ulanov and Zaitsev. Vestyaminova and Bukin, 4 world crowns and Olympic gold. Succeeded by Klimova and Ponomarenko, Russian royalty on ice. But the collapse of communism marked a changing of the guard in Russian society and its sport. Now even the nation's best skaters have little edge in everyday life.
In time of socialism, the system of sport was very, very powerful. And it was big river, gold river, which was going to the sport. Now we are really free country. We was looking to be a free country. And now we are really free. We are free from the food, We are free from the good roads. We are free from the shoes. We are really free. And we are free from the good condition for skating.
Shishkova and Naumov are championship products of the old system, but they train in a radically different environment.
We always had a great condition for the physical culture, to run, swim, and everything. But now we haven't. Especially now we haven't the ice in our city. I mean, in St. Petersburg. And we have to go into Moscow to train in there. There, in the Moscow, very good condition, but we cannot stay in the Moscow so many times because it's very expensive for our federation to pay for the free for the apartment, for the food, everything.
No money. Everything skaters have to do by themselves. When I'm thinking about condition which we have now, it's not possible to be good.
So many coaches have left. Irina Rodnina trains Czech pairs champions Kovaříková and Novotný.
For figure skating, I think it's very difficult time, not only for figure skating, for all sport. It's very difficult because there's a lot of coaches go working in other countries, and before we have, so you know, the best what I become from my coach and coaches who working in national team, then I begin working. It's all time was like steps up, up, up. Now I feels like this steps is broken.
The Soviet brain drain has taken Rodnina to Lake Arrowhead, California. Ice dance matron Natalia Dubova is in Lake Placid. Few remain.
We are going to lose generation of skaters. As a young one are not coming. Coaches disappeared in different countries to work for their living. Parents can't afford now that the skaters, that their children can skate. And it seems to make some time, and then we start again.
17-year-old European champion Ilya Kulik is that fresh start. He gives Russian skating a future.
Но у нас остались еще школы, как в Москве, 3 школы.
But we still have good figure skating schools, especially in Moscow and also in St. Petersburg, Leningrad. And there are still good skaters skating, practicing. There are still some left, but of course our choice was much bigger before.
Russian coaches and skaters and just Russian people are used to difficulties. And we are very flexible, we are very adjustable to the conditions we were before and we are now. That's why we don't think, oh, how difficult it is. We think, what to do to be on the podium again.
It is that indomitable spirit which will fuel the dawn of a new era in Russian skating.
Thank you, Chris. And speaking of great Russian pairs, there are the defending world champions, Shishkova and Naumov, and they are up next when we continue from Birmingham.
Jenni, Shishkova, Vadim.
Welcome back to the NEC into the final group of pairs. And here are the defending world champions, Evgenia Shishkova, Vadim Naumov of Russia. They're in 3rd place. And last year, there was no movement amongst the top 3 from the short to the long program.
Well, the thing that concerns me most about this team is I do not believe that this program is a world championship program. No matter how well they skate it, I just feel it doesn't have what it takes to be deemed the best in the world.
Opening with a throw triple salchow. Very well done. And they do them. Quite a bit of distance between them, though.
So, triple twist. But as they've demonstrated so far, the one thing they do have in their favor is consistency.
though she's a China doll. And Lloyd, you used to always sit on the edge of your seat, and I just don't get that with this team.
Barb, whether you and I like this program or not, it's going to be the judges who make the decision, and so far they have skated almost flawlessly. And for the rest of this field, this is the program to beat to this point.
As world champions, Evgenia Shishkova, Vadim Naumov. Their marks when we come back to the NEC in Birmingham. We're back in Birmingham. You saw the piece on Russian skating, the difficulties they're going through now. They actually went after Europeans, the entire Russian team, to Mexico to raise funds for the Skating Federation. This is the 5th World Championship for Shishkova Naumov. Bronze in '93, gold last year. And their technical marks from 5.6 to 5.8.
5.6.
Those better than that of Mino and Sand of the United States. Ludmila Velikova is their coach. The presentation marks about the same 5.7s and 8s. First place ordinals from all 9 judges. So they have done their job. Now they must wait.
The next competitors representing the Czech Republic, Radka, Kovaříková,
and here are the leaders. Radka, Kovaříková, René Novotný of the Czech Republic. They lost the 5-4 judges split at the European Championships, but Barb, I thought it was a major hurdle for them. They skated so well at the Europeans in the long program. They seem to overcome that traditional problem of the nerves there.
Hopefully that performance has given them confidence here. They'll need every bit because they cannot make a mistake after we just saw the flawless performance of Shishkova Naumov. They know that they need a clean performance. Tremendous amount of pressure here. Opening with the throw triple Salchow. Now the side-by-side triple toe loop. Oh, and with with that mistake, it's going to be very difficult for them to win. Hopefully they can pull it together. Great throw, triple toe. They're fighting back now. Nice side-by-side double axels.
She's struggling with everything she lands, whether it's a jump or a lift. She looks like she's really tight out there. She hasn't been able to relax into the program, and it shows on a lot of the elements out there.
Well, their coach, Marina, has said that the secret of their success relies on Radka alone. If she's confident, then they can do it, but she just doesn't seem to have it tonight.
Short program of the top 3 teams. Whoever wins the long program takes hold the top prize.
Radka, Kovaříková, René, Novotný of the Czech Republic. Their coach, Irina Rodnina, won 10 world titles, was hoping this would be the first for her pupils. Instead, they're hoping that's enough for a medal. And we'll have the judges' marks when we come back to Birmingham. Back in England, Radka, Kovaříková, René, Novotný, coach Irina Rodnina. They trained in Prague after the Europeans, awaiting these World Championships, normally at Lake Arrowhead. That's a pretty good set of technical marks. 5, 6s, 7s, and 8s.
Marks for presentation, 5.
And now the presentation marks, and this is surprising.
Well, as we talked about Shishkova Naumov, we questioned the program, and this is where you're seeing the difference. We've mentioned on the short, Radka and René have the 2 best programs here.
7 first, a second and a third for Kovaříková and Novotný. Here's the couple that beat them at the European Championships, Mandy, Wötzel and Ingo Steuer. In second after the short, they were the silver medalists behind Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler at the 93 Worlds in Prague.
And when you talk about programs, now you're going to see something completely different. René and Radka gave you a very classical look. This is a very contemporary look. Technically, all of these teams match up very evenly.
With a great triple twist. Now the side-by-side triple toe loops. Oh, Mandy steps out of hers.
Czechs also missed the side-by-side triple toe loops. We've questioned all week whether there's been too much pressure on the jumps. It's going to be interesting to see if that indeed is the difference in the championship here.
Oh, she falls on the double axel. Depending on how the Russians, Eltsova and Bushkov skate, that could send them off the podium.
Credit must be given to all of these top 4 teams. All of them have got their own distinct, unique lifts, and it's nice to watch. You've got to come to the World Championships with something that you think is going to set you apart from the rest of the field. Mandy and Ingo have decided that this contemporary program would set them apart. However, when you combine it with the mistakes that they've made out there tonight, I put it in the same category of Shishkova Naumov. To me, it's not a World Championship winning performance or program.
Well, for me, it's skated at all one speed. There's no change of pace at all.
Well, a good barometer is often the audience, and the audience here hardly gave them any applause throughout the entire program.
None of the magic we saw in Dortmund for Mandy, Wötzel, Ingo, Steuer. Back with their marks after this. Back in Birmingham, Mandy Wötzel very dejected as she awaits the marks. And here they come. 5.4s from the Czech Republic and Russia. Up to 5.6s. Monica Scheib is their coach. They're for Chemnitz in the former East Germany. And now the second set of marks. A third-place ordinal from Poland. The rest are fourths, and that could knock them right off the podium. Right now they're third, and it appears Kovaříková and Novotný of the Czech Republic have won, but it's not official yet. A last pair from Russia. Russians have won 9 of the last 10 years in this event, 26 of the last 30. In fourth place after the short program, Marina Ельцова. And Andrei Bushkov, he's been fighting the flu, and once again, as he did last night, he left the warm-up with about 1 minute to go.
Well, this team could certainly play spoiler here for Wötzel Steuer, as they have delivered quality performances in the past, as they have been European champions.
And bronze medalists in the Worlds in '93.
They have also had problems with their nerves in the past, though. They open with side-by-side triple toe loops. She pulled out of that triple salchow mid-air. Now watch this sequence. Triple twist, straight into a throw double axel. And they hold hands on the landing.
En su huelga de hambre en la puerta del Jurado Nacional de Elecciones. Conciliar...
This team, they very seldom focus on each other. They're always focusing outward, and it does very little to develop any sort of communication between the two. And I think that's perhaps what's missing with this team. Technically, they're very sound.
Aside from the breakout in the throw triple salchow, they've skated a very strong performance to this point. And considering the number of mistakes that Wötzel Steuer made, I think it's going to come right down to the very last set of marks so we know who's on the podium.
Yes, because if they're ahead of Wötzel Steuer, but behind Mino and Sand, the Americans could climb into the bronze medal. Marina Ельцова and Andrei Bushkov of St. Petersburg, Russia.
Well, he has obviously been fighting some sort of bug here this week, and like Menzies, who delivered a performance in spite of their illness, they've got to be ecstatic about what they've done out here tonight. Here's a look at their triple twist, right into throw double axel, a very unique combination. Creativity is the essence of figure skating. This is what always keeps it interesting.
Not to mention judges' decisions, and I can't help but wonder about Shishkova Naumov. Technically perfect tonight, but just 2 first-place ordinals, Kovaříková Novotný with 7, and this is a surprising result.
Well, Chris, we're often accusing referees in the NHL of playing even up in a game when it comes to penalties, and we were very critical of the judging at Europeans. And when you look at that panel, all but the American judge is from Europe. They were all at that championship. They saw the event go down, so perhaps that's what we're seeing happen here.
Well, Kovaříková and Novotný certainly had a much stronger performance at the Europeans. We thought they deserved to win there. This is all very interesting.
There's Igor Moskvin, the coach of Eltsova Bushkov, and his wife Tamara Moskvina will have a team at next year's World Championships. We expect Artur Dmitriev and a new partner.
I spoke to her earlier backstage here, and she said it is going to be a good team, and it has been fun to coach once again.
All right, here come the marks now for Eltsova Bushkov. 5-4 through 5-7 are the technical marks.
5-6, 5-4, 5-6. Marks for presentation.
And now the presentation marks. There's a second place from the American judge. There's thirds, fourths, and fifths. They're ahead of Wötzel Steuer. You can hear the roar of the crowd because Eltsova Bushkov have pushed Mino Sand into the bronze medal spot. There they are from 5th after the short. The Americans have a medal to celebrate here. And Kovaříková Novotný, the Czech Republic flag waving proudly. They are the gold medalists here. Shishkova Naumov 2nd, and Mino Sand in 3rd place. So a dramatic end to this pairs competition, and there are the gold medalists. A long time coming, their 2nd medal. They were silver medalists in '92, and at last gold on a controversial night here in the pairs long program. Now, Radka, Kovaříková, and René Novotný of the Czech Republic are world champions, finishing ahead of Shishkova Naumov and Mino and Sand of the United States, taking the bronze medal. At the top of the show, Barb said if they skated well and didn't win, she'd be upset. Well, Kovaříková Novotný didn't skate that well and did win. How do you feel?
Well, you know what? I'm extremely happy for them because I've wanted them to win. But it just left me a little bit cold because it wasn't the inspiring performance that I wanted to see from them. I think the most inspiring performance of the night was that of Jenni, Mino, and Todd Sand. And I think it's great for pair skating that tonight did not come down to the jumping skills of these pair teams.
Well, Barb, if you're Shishkova Naumov, perhaps you're hoping it did come down to the jump because they did the side-by-side triple toe, skated flawlessly, and yet they go home with only a silver medal in their pocket. And you have to wonder if John Nix made a critical error last night in the short program for Mino and Sand because they only did double axels. We're in 4th, and perhaps they lost a chance at winning this championship because of that mistake.
Well, for Canada, there's a sense of relief, too, because Menzies, Jean-Michel Bombardier move up into 10th place, so Canada will have 2 pairs competing at next year's World Championships in Edmonton.